supposedly right now we're at the temple of Abydos. Which Osiris, I don't know if you can see those things on the wall there or not, which King Seti I built. To honor and worship the god Osiris, primarily. King Seti I was the nice old pharaoh at the beginning of the Ten Commandments. That's the temple over there. You can see the wonderful reliefs on the walls here at Abydos.
أنا غلطان. للساعة مشاركة. Adios. Goodbye. Adios, other people.
Adios, Abydos.
Wearing the crown of Upper Egypt. I don't know which pharaoh that is yet. Our guide has gone to the bathroom. That might tell you. And on the opposite wall, we have a pharaoh wearing the crown of Lower Egypt. So this place is to signify both. Inside the Abydos temple.
So the first scene to the right hand side, you see Horus with a jar in his hand, and in front of him you see King Ramses, and after that you see God Tut, and the two gods are really purifying Ramses II.
Okay.
And this is a sacred water. The second scene you see also Horus to the right hand side.
Yeah.
Then you see Seti in the middle. Then you see Anubis, the god who protecting usually the god. And now instead of purifying, they are giving him the key of life. This, mean usually eternal life. And the one who is standing, the lady, this is goddess Isis. And after that you see Ramses again holding a roll of papyrus in his hand. And after that you see him in front of the triad. And the triad is composed of the three members, the father, the mother, and then the son. And you see Osiris, Isis, and Horus, the three of them.
Can you read these hieroglyphs?
No, I can't really, but concerning names and so on, something like that. And after that you see the representations of the god of the Nile. And the god of the Nile is personifying the different provinces of Egypt, and he is holding the different offerings and sacrifices, getting them inside the temple. And the decoration here is done by Ramses II himself.
Okay, go ahead.
So we start from here, this is Ra, and after that this is Wisr, and this is Ma'at, this is Sitib, this is In, this is Ra. So when you read the name of Ramses II, you read it like that. Wisr, Ma'at, Ra, powerful is the justice of God Ra, Sitib In, Ra, chosen by Ra. So this is the name of the king.
It's depicted here more clearly. Let me show you.
So you see the goddess of Jannat Ra, the everlasting justice of Ra.
Okay, he's teaching me this cartouche right here, read from bottom to top.
Exactly.
It's Men Mat Ra, which is Seti's coronation name, which means what?
And it everlasting justice of God Ra.
Everlasting justice of God Ra. Now I'm going to zoom back. Can you start from the right and tell us the characters?
Yes, so you see Seti himself, and he's pouring the sacred water. Then he's burning the incense in front of the seated god Osiris. And in behind of Osiris you see his son Horus. And after that you see this Seti again, amazingly represented really with the instrument to burn incense in his left hand. And you see Osiris now in the middle of 5 goddesses. The one at the beginning in here is supposed to be Amentet, the second is Ma'at, the third in the middle is Osiris, the fourth is Isis, the fifth is supposed to be like Merit Sigurd, and the last one is Nephthys. And even the body of the goddesses is represented really with a very svelte and highly proportioned way. I mean, as Egyptians were idealizing their point of view concerning that.
And even up on top is more.
The top is unfortunately destroyed, yes.
Go.
The one to the right hand side is God Horus, and he's giving to Seti now 2 sticks. The 2 sticks referring to the authority given to Seti to rule Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt. And Seti is having them from him, who is represented in the middle with the cobra in his front, and in behind of him you see Goddess Isis, who is going to afford her necklace to King Seti.
I'm shooting this from an angle. It's Seti again.
Osiris, Isis, and Horus.
Osiris, Isis, and Horus. And the reason I'm shooting this one from an angle is because this is carving from the Seti era. It's outer reliefs. I don't know if you can tell or not, but the wall has been carved back to leave the picture standing out. The pictures earlier of Ramses, etc., are inner reliefs. The picture is carved into the wall instead of having the wall carved away from the picture.
And Seti is kneeling and is making incense in front of his altar.
And Seti's acting as a royal king at this time. The way he's seated, he just told me before I turned on the camera. And Isis. This is Isis and Seti.
This is Isis and Seti. Exactly.
And he's holding the jade pillar, which is the pillar that held Osiris' body when Isis found it, etc. That was at Abydos?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to get that. Never saw it.
Abydos.
The falcon, he says all wings mean protection. This is the falcon's going to protect Seti.
Exactly, yeah. The coronation name. And
this is Menmat Ra on the right, and the left one is King Seti the I.
Yes. So you see to the right hand side the coronation name, and to the left hand side the name of the Pharaoh when he was born.
And there's Osiris on the right, Seti in the middle, and that's Amun on the left, as in Amun Ra, who was taking hold at about this time.
The 2 holes.
There's Amun, Seti,
on the right, and Seti,
and Atum,
and
as in Ra Atum Kebra.
Atum.
This is Mut? Oh, okay. And either she's feeding Seti or he's sucking on her breast or something, but Joe wanted to be sure and get that. And there's Ra on the left. Finally we get to him.
Ra.
And Seti and Betah,
The middle.
he says.
And Betah to the left hand side. Sekhmet means the strongest.
Okay.
Sekhmet.
That's him. Or him or her. Is that a her?
Huh?
Is that a her or a him?
No, Sekhmet is here.
Okay. And Betah again. And there's Seti, who is now in the position of being a god. So when you come in, you have to worship Seti. Yeah.
Yes.
That is Menkhepra. Menkhepra.
Yes.
And that's the Cartesian of Thutmosis III.
To the right of him, you see the name of his father. Khibirura.
Is that Thutmosis II? No?
Khibirura.
That was Thutmosis III's father.
Yes.
Okay.
And this
is the Cartesian of Mena, the fellow who unified Egypt 5,100 years ago. Sorry, go ahead.
Is a very important list, and giving us an idea about the point of view of Egyptians concerning listing the names of their pharaohs and the big deeds they have done. And you see here Ramses II and Seti. Ramses II, young boy.
His little boy, with his Princess Lock.
Yes. Prince Lock.
I don't have Moses around here somewhere.
Where is Moses?
I don't know, but we ought to have it right here somewhere. And this right here is...
You have read about Egypt, but of Seti of Ramses II.
And of course there's the falcon, protecting again. The head of Ramses II, who's wearing the crown of Lower Egypt right now, isn't he? And that was Ramses II's first son, Thutmosis, who died during Ramses II's life. And of what, we're not sure, I guess sickness?
Acting as a cowboy now.
Who? The kid who's acting as a cowboy? Oh, because he's chasing a cow?
Yes, and chasing with the lasso, as you see.
And I'll just go ahead and shoot these
Have the lasso and then the...
cartouches. Hieroglyphs. I forgot to say, this is also supposed to be one of the finest examples of inner reliefs carved into the stone, so it's a Ramses II era as opposed to Seti. This is the temple of Hathor, goddess, mistress of the gods, goddess of love, beauty, music, dance, wine, and sex, and all that. They call her the exotic one. This is a little bit south of Abydos. And just shoot some of the pillars here outside the gate to Hathor's temple at Dendera. That's where we are. This right here, if you can see it, is Horus on the right, Hathor in the middle, and the king on the left, I forget which one. Inside Hathor's front courtyard area, looking back out to the front gate. You can see everything that's on it. Looking back to the north. And there's the Pharaoh temple again. Oh, there's no archaeologist walking up to it there. Inside Hathor's temple to the south. They even have hieroglyphs on the ceiling. Turn around to the north. There's no archaeologist in the way. Almost. You can see the marvelous pillars. There's a lot of them. I can't capture this on the videotape. Look at these. And of course, Hathor's on one of her own pillars. Can you start at the top left again?
Top left, the king in front of Hathor and Horus. Then the king in front of Ra. Then the king in front of Isis and Horus. Then the king of Hathor again. Then the king in front of Hathor and Shu. And so on.
Yeah. So we can see as we come down here, one more layer, some of them are still in excellent condition.
The king again was Isis and Osiris.
This is the king with Isis
and Osiris.
Yes.
And then the king was Horus.
The king with Horus. Yeah. And as we come down, we can see
some colors. You can see some colors also.
As we come down, we can see the characters have been chiseled away. Yeah. This is not erosion. This is vandalism because. What was it, probably the early Christians?
Yes, you can get also the graffiti over there. Fresolini.
Yeah, Fresolini.
Fresolini, yeah.
I can find that. Right there, this is graffiti.
Fresolini.
This is graffiti, more graffiti.
Yeah.
See, this is not, and this up here is not erosion. They chiseled this away because they didn't like the gods when they went Christian. And probably, that's what we're told. And didn't like the gods, they feared the gods.
Yes, they feared the gods. Yes.
Yeah. So a lot of these marvelous walls have been messed up. We even got Hathor's way up on the ceiling, as you can see. We're looking to the north now again. Look at this. You're on.
As the Temple of Dendera is one of the late temples built during the Hellenistic period, so the temple is amazingly preserved. But unfortunately, the only disaster happening is the chiseling, and you don't miss even a small
Here on here, the black that you see on here is also not from age. That's from torches from people living in here.
Exactly.
And that's carbon deposits, Joe, which means their torches are too rich, right?
Right.
Not leaving that. That's an airplane joke. Go.
Yes, you see the king just approaching the sanctuary in front of Hathor, and then the king in front of the sanctuary trying to open it.
Yeah.
And the third stage, you see the king just inside facing Hathor. Then the king himself burning incense, as you see, in front of the sacred boat of Hathor. And after that, you see the king in front of the boat of Horus himself, and you got the throne is still in the form of the Pharaoh.
Just thought I'd show you how they paint up how they carve up the columns.
Piece lazuli. This column is still be affected.
Oh, yes.
You can still see some of the blue and red paints that are on these things. And here's just an area outside the Heather's Temple. There's the old archaeologist again, trudging along. Focus on something. This is the view out of our room at Luxor at the top hotel, I guess. Not bad. Right on the nose. Well, we went away across the door. Across the nose. There's the Valley of Kings. We're on the west side of the Nile now. This is Hatshepsut's temple, right there, up against the hills. Tombs of nobles are there. See the holes in the cliffs? Hatshepsut's temple had a fly on my arm. Isn't that something? Can't get the flies off my arm.
Might say what who she was.
She was the first queen of Egypt, actually the first woman pharaoh. I don't think they had queens. She was the first woman pharaoh of Egypt. I think she took it from Thutmosis III, and I think he took it back later when he grew up. We'll see more of him later. And the tombs of the nobles are here alongside. There's that old archaeologist again, seeing there where I go. Hatshepsut's temple again, we're on the second level. It's right beneath this marvelous cliff. Look at that.
And
If I start from the right over there, this is the Queen Hatshepsut's expedition to Somalia,
yes,
right here.
here you have the goods the Egyptian took with them. And after that, the chief of Somalia receiving them. And then over there you see the chief of the Egyptian expedition having a look of the things he's going to have back to Egypt from Somalia as a result of the exchange. Here you have the chief of Somalia, and behind of him you see his wife, and his wife really is represented terribly fat and fleshy. Why she's represented that? Because of the elephantitis disease. Elephantitis maybe was common at the time because of the mosquitoes. And Egyptians wanted to really make fun of the poor and sick lady, saying that the donkey is the one destined to carry the queen.
Of Somalia.
They said poor and a small donkey to carry such a big burden.
The Queen of Somalia?
The Queen of Somalia.
Yeah.
Okay, and as it is ridiculous for them to ride a donkey at the time. Over there you see the lobster, and you see the Egyptian, they are transferring the trees, and they are loading them on board the boat.
What now?
Have the boat. This is the Egyptian fleet, and now they are loading the boat with everything, just to move back to Egypt.
Yes.
The terms Egyptian got from Somalia.
I always knew my gold was somewhere. There's a big pile of gold there that they're weighing. Smaller gold there. You can see some little trees that carved into the stone here. This temple is approximately 1700 BC?
1500.
1500 BC. You can see things carved. Oh, I can't quite make it out. And Thutmosis III is here on the wall at Hatshepsut's Mortuary temple. I don't know if the camera will. I'll go to manual focus. See, Thutmosis III. And we'll take one last look at Queen Hatshepsut's temple, Pharaoh Hatshepsut's temple before we leave. There are statues of her up here that have been defaced by Thutmosis III. That was her alleged co-regent who she stole the empire from, I suspect, for a 20-year period. Assumed a leadership role while he was a child, and I don't know. This one apparently is still together. Queen Hatshepsut. Pharaoh Hatshepsut, excuse me. Really nice. Mortuary temple. And this is a shot out the front of her thing. I don't know if you can pick it up or not. There's the green land. Then there's lots of trees here when she had it planned. Go.
We say the temple of Ramses is one of the mortuary temples, so it is exactly like the temple of Queen Hatshepsut or Pillar Bah you have been to, and it is a real big temple, one of the biggest temples just done in here. And the style of Ramses is more or less like the style of the hypostyle hall of Karnak, and it is dedicated to Ra. This is the main reason, but also the main purpose of the temple is just to make cult to the soul of Ramses II to be eternal, happy in the other life. And for that reason all the statues you see in here referring to Ramses II in a mummy form. And the direction of the temple is just starting from west to east. So you look to the temple, it is taken this way. I mean it is the sun.
Well, from east to west.
East, exactly.
Yes,
So
we're looking right now to the south, to the south-southwest.
Yeah, so
I don't know if you can see the inscriptions which are engraved on the walls. I'll get closer and try them later.
On these lifeless things, the hand that marked them and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear, my name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains around the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare. The lone and level sand stretches far away. So, Shelley,
Looking to the
Ramses,
west.
Rome, all that comes together, part B, ECHB.
another statue, and it is the biggest monolithic finished piece of granite done in Egypt. It is 1,000 tons in one single piece of stone to be a statue for Ramses II. And when the tremor happened, it was cracked and it is cut, and it is falling down, as you see. But you can just follow the face and the wave.
Yeah.
So to the right hand side you see a god with the disk of the moon with the crescent on top of his head, and this is god Khonsu, the god of the moon. In front of Khonsu you see a lady with a crown on top of her head, and this is supposed to be goddess Mut, M-U-T, Mut. And Mut was the goddess of the war, the severe one, represented mostly like a lady with the head of the lioness. And in front of her you see Amun-Ra. With the two famous figures. So the three persons in here, Amun, Mut and Khonsu, is the famous imperial triad of Egypt at the time. And in front of the triad you see Ramses II himself kneeling and offering or receiving really the Jubilee sign of the triad. The Jubilee sign is what Ramses gets from the big temple at the time as just the license or the permission to give him the right to rule for 30 years. And the one to the left-hand side is God taught. The God is wisdom and the famous writer and the one who's registering everything important happening in the life of gods or the life of kings. And just you see Horus after that, and Horus is the falcon-headed god, and he's giving the key of life, if you get it nearer.
Yeah.
Yes, beside the nose of Ramses II with the crowns, and behind of Ramses also you see the Khuns represented also like a pharaoh, and he's got really the double crown on top of his head. And from here you can get the window, because you see the lower level of the roof and
See
the
how they
higher
fashioned the
level.
windows up there.
Yes, the lower level of the roof and the higher level of the roof.
You can see some of the green paint still.
You can see.
There's Mut on the far right,
Yes,
Ramses, Amun,
yes,
and Hunza.
yes. Excellent.
This is Mut. This is the vulture on top of the moon, was that?
Yes.
The vulture on top of the moon? Moon. And this is Mut then. By Amun and Ramses II again. Ramses II.
Mary, Amun, Ra, Mrs. Su.
This right here, that cartouche.
Yes, Mary, Amun, Ra, Mrs. Su.
Joe, and these here have been defaced. Joe, and we'll be sure and say the Ramseum is the mortuary temple of Ramses II, like Hatshepsut's temple is a mortuary temple to Hatshepsut. There's Amun, right there.